Hey guys, personal injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about what are your options and what are your deadlines in your personal injury case. So I got a call from a guy yesterday, and he got injured at work, but there was also a possibility that the reason the accident happened was, a third party. In other words, he got hurt at work, but somebody else was responsible for the injury. Well, as I've discussed in other videos, that means you might have a third party case and you might have a workers' comp. A classic example is if you're a driver for a company and you're on the clock and you get hurt for any reason related to work, that's workers' comp. But if you get hurt because a car runs into your truck or into your delivery car and it's their fault, you're entitled to do workers' comp and sue the other person, right? And I have other videos where I discuss that in more detail. But so basically, many things happened in a relatively short consultation over the telephone. So the first thing is that this guy got hurt 6 years ago. And so I had to explain to him that the deadline for filing a case in workers' comp is usually 3 years from the date of the injury. And in a, for example, car crash case, the deadline's 2 years from the crash, depending on who the defendants are, right? It could be shorter than that, which is another reason why you should talk to a lawyer in any injury case. So I had to tell him that, and that's one thing that you can never be reminded of too often is there are deadlines in these cases, and you miss the deadline, you're in trouble, right? You can't file a case after that, and you're probably never going to see any money to compensate you for your medical bills and time off work and all that jazz, right? So, the other thing that came out while I was questioning him is he probably is not an employee. He is probably what's called an independent contractor. So if you work for somebody, you're either an employee or an independent contractor. It used to be that almost everybody was employees if they worked for one person. But there's been a huge wave of, over the years of people attempting to classify their people as independent contractors, right? Now, what's the advantage to an employer for doing that? Pardon me. The advantage for an employer is you don't have to pay workers' comp insurance. You don't have to pay benefits. And they just get they just get a check for their compensation, and you're not paying extra money in taxes due to payroll, and you're not paying for a payroll service, right? Because you don't have to calculate federal tax, state tax, withholdings, and all that stuff. And if you don't have employees, you don't have to make quarterly payments into unemployment funds and Medicare and Medicaid funds and other payroll deductions like that, right? So there's advantages, paperwork reduction, and it's cheaper for employers to do it that way. The problem is that if you're an independent contractor under Illinois law, you're not covered under workers' comp laws. In other words, you're not protected by workers' comp. And that's what happened with this guy. It sounded to me like he sure wasn't workers' comp. Now, one thing that employers do to get around it is they basically have you buy your own workers' comp, and they deduct it out of your check, right? If you're working in a situation like that, I highly encourage you to buy your own workers' comp insurance. Workers' comp insurance for an individual under those circumstances is not that expensive, but if God forbid you are in a serious accident or have a serious injury at work, you're going to be so glad you did it. The other thing is with insurances, you should consider increasing your car auto limit, because your car auto limit under underinsured and uninsured coverage protects you and your family and your passengers. So there's a lot of people out there running around with no auto insurance or lapsed auto insurance or insufficient coverage, right? Medical bills are crazy high, and right now Illinois state limits or the minimum coverage for auto insurance is only $25,000. pardon me, I don't know if I'm coming down with something or whether my allergies are going crazy. I took an allergy pill, but boy, I'm feeling a little run down. Maybe I'm getting sick. Could be. Anyway, my point is, I thought this conversation with this guy was interesting because he called me and represented that he thought he had a very strong case and he just wanted to know what his options were. But it's true that in just a few minutes of talking to me, I was able to break down what his options were. And unfortunately, in his case, he didn't have many options. It's not a workers' comp case because he's not an employee, in my opinion, based on the detailed questions I asked him. And he's got a deadline problem anyway, And so I was able to refer him to a Social Security disability lawyer to help him out in that way, to help him appeal his Social Security disability denial. And that's why I always say, it is a really good idea if you have any questions or you have any concerns to just get a free consultation. Whether it's with me or someone else, obviously my preference is that it be with me, but whether it's with me or somebody else, at the end of the day, it's free. It's usually over the telephone. And if you have a good lawyer, they're going to be able to talk to you pretty quick and get to the bottom of it and let you know what your options are. And so the reason this video is options and deadlines is those are the two most important things you need to know when you get a consult from a lawyer, right? You need to know what are your deadlines and what are your options, right? And you can get that all for free by talking to an attorney in a free consultation. So I hope that information helps you. You should definitely get a free consultation if you're in a situation where you have any questions about an injury like that. And you can get one for free, and you can call me anytime, day or night, any day of the year at 312-500-4500, 312-500-4500. That goes into my system. My operator answers the phone. If I'm available, they'll transfer you. If I'm not available, they email me and text me your info, and as soon as I am awake, I call you back, and we can set an appointment to talk when's good for you. So the other thing is, if you enjoy the video, please consider hitting the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and give me a 5-star review on Google, link in the description, and check out my website. It's desalvolaw.com. I've got all kinds of information and tools in there. And if you or a loved one has been involved in a crash, please consider giving me a call. So thanks for watching. Have a great day and take care.